This is sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review, and I am here with an abbreviated edition of the MLB Overnight Line segment as we take a look at the games taking place on Friday, June the 10th. Let's get right to it. We're going to start by looking at the Detroit Tigers facing the New York Yankees on the Friday, June 10th card, and we're back to the Mike Pelfrey bandwagon once again, in the negative direction, that is. We're not on Mike Pelfrey. We're against him, and we've been against him for most of the season, and that's going to continue here in this game. Mike Pelfrey, he's been a bet against pitcher for me now for a while. Likely he's going to be in tough here with the New York Yankees, a lineup that's finally started to awake from their sleep, from their slumber, and get going, as the Yankees have scored 5 runs or more in 5 of their last 6 games, really torching the LA Angels pitching during their current series this week against the Angels. And Mike Pelfrey's track record against the Yankees, not great either. He's been roughed up by this lineup in the past, including earlier this year. He gave up 6 runs on 7 hits in just 3.2 innings, so I think he might struggle here. CC Sabathia, I've got to give him credit. He's been very consistent for the Yankees. He's given them a lot more than a lot of people thought. However, his 2.58 ERA likely due for a bit of a regression, because I'm looking at his FIP. It's 3.39, his xFIP 4.58 respectively. Now you're going to face a Detroit Tigers lineup that, if you've been paying attention lately, they're just mashing the baseball against lefties. I mean, they are crushing left-handed pitching. You look at their last 5 games against lefty starters. Detroit has scored 9, 10, 7, 5, and 11 runs in those games. And they face some pretty good lefty starters. Guys having pretty good seasons. Hector Santiago, Carlos Rodon, Chris Sale. They rocked him in very impressive fashion. Jose Quintana, who's been great this year, and J.A. Happ. The Tigers handed him his worst start of the season earlier this week. So I think CC Sabathia could be in a little bit of trouble here. I think over the total, 9 runs worth a look in that game. Cleveland takes on the LA Angels on Friday night. And if you'll remember, Hector Santiago, the guy we just talked about a second ago, we cashed an over winner in his last start against the Detroit Tigers, and I'm going to go against him here. The Angels lefty definitely struggling for the most part this season. He's allowed 15 runs in his last 13 innings pitched over his last 3 starts, and he's really had a tough time pitching here at Angel Stadium. A 6.31 ERA for Hector Santiago in 5 home starts this year. Angels just 1-3 in Santiago's 4 starts against Cleveland since 2013. Now on the flip side, we got Corey Kluber, of course, coming off a pretty good current form right now. 3.10 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's fared better on the road most of the season. His track record against the Angels is not great, but it's still good enough to the point where, and I like his current form, where I think he should be able to outduel Santiago. But in case Kluber struggles against this Angels lineup resurface, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go side and total, because I think Cleveland will still get the better of it from a starting pitching perspective. I'll look to take Cleveland here about minus 120 as a road favorite, and also look for this game to go over the total. You can get 7.5 at Heritage Sports. It's also 8 at a lot of other books, so you're definitely going to want to shop around, look for a good number with that total. But I'll lean to Cleveland and over the total in that game against the LA Angels on Friday night. And I can't finish this brief segment without talking about Kershaw versus Cueto. I mean, the premier pitching matchup, Dodgers and Giants on Friday night. You're seeing the LA Dodgers with Kershaw minus 150, road favorite in that range at San Francisco. And I know the Giants have some key bats out of their lineup. Buster Posey, he's been dealing with a thumb injury. Hunter Pence, of course, dealing with a torn right hamstring. He's on the 15-day DL. So there's some key. Angel Pagan's also out. So there's some key bats out of this Giants lineup. But at the same time, the LA Dodgers, as great as Kershaw has been, 11-1 are the Dodgers in his 12 starts this year. Giants have been every bit as good with Cueto on the mound. They're 11-1 in Johnny Cueto's 12 starts. And now you're talking about situations where, who do you trust to score? Do you trust the Dodgers, who have not hit the ball well at all? In their series against Colorado, first 3 games of that series, they score 5 runs combined in the 3 games. Do you trust them to hit, because they're not hitting right now? Dodgers lineup not in good form. Or do you trust San Francisco, a team that is dealing with some key guys out of their lineup due to injuries? So it's really going to come down to which team do you trust more offensively to hit one of these pitchers that is in just absolutely spectacular form and has been all year, both of them. I mean, Kershaw, 1.46 ERA. Johnny Cueto, 2.16 ERA. I mean, just fantastic numbers for both of these guys. But I'll tell you what, as great as Kershaw is, I'm in no rush to lay this price with the Dodgers. None. Zero. I mean, this lineup has been really, really scuffling at the plate in this Colorado series. And at some point, you got to get run support. Clayton Kershaw can throw up as many zeros as he wants. If you're not going to score for him, you got some issues. So the Dodgers going off as a minus 150 favorite. I'm not saying they can't win this game, but I don't see the value there with the Dodgers. Kershaw is great. Don't get me wrong. He's fantastic. Don't want to go against him. But if I had to bet this game, if I had to, and the good news is I don't have to, I get to pick which games I want to bet on a daily basis. That's the great part of this. I'd have to look toward the dog value with San Francisco. I would. Reluctantly, because again, Kershaw's been fantastic, but I don't like what I'm seeing from a plate approach perspective with these Dodgers hitters right now. Can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag. Not the kind of lineup I want to support in this kind of lofty road favorite price range. So that's going to do it for my look at MLB overnight lines for Friday, June the 10th. I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron. As always, check out sportsbookreview.com every day for the latest live odds, betting articles, and videos. And until next time, enjoy the games and good luck.